Life is not a race, but too often we treat it like one. We look left, we look right, and we measure where we stand against others. Some seem far ahead, running faster, stronger, and smoother, while we feel stuck at the starting line. The pain of comparison is something almost every person experiences. It makes us feel smaller, weaker, and sometimes worthless. But what if I told you that comparing yourself to others is like judging a fish by how well it climbs a tree? What if your real power lies not in keeping up with others, but in walking your own path, one step at a time? This is the story of a young man named Daniel, who once believed he was a failure because everyone around him seemed to be achieving more. His life was a cycle of comparisons, self-doubt, and quiet frustration. But one turning point changed everything. Daniel grew up in a small town. He was neither the top student in school nor the best athlete on the field. His classmates always seemed to shine brighter. One was a gifted musician, another a math genius, another a star football player. Daniel, on the other hand, was average in almost everything. No medals, no trophies, no applause. At night, he often lay awake scrolling through his phone, looking at photos of old classmates who were now traveling, graduating with honors, or landing good jobs. He whispered to himself, "Why am I so far behind? What is wrong with me?" The more he compared, the heavier the burden grew. He started to avoid people, afraid of the question everyone seemed to ask, "So, what are you doing with your life?" One day, while walking through the park, Daniel sat on a bench feeling utterly defeated. Next to him, an old man was feeding birds. The man noticed Daniel's heavy face and asked gently, "What weighs on you, son?" Daniel sighed. "Everyone else is moving forward. They're doing great things. I'm still stuck. I don't know who I am or where I'm going. I feel left behind." The old man chuckled softly. "Left behind? By whom?" "By everyone," Daniel replied. "My friends, my family, people I went to school with. They're ahead of me, and I'm just me." The old man picked up a stick from the ground and drew two lines in the dirt. One was short, one was long. "Tell me," he asked, "which line is better?" Daniel looked confused. "The longer one, I guess. It's bigger." The man smiled. "Now watch." He erased both lines and drew a circle. "Which one is better now?" Daniel stared. "They're not the same thing anymore. I can't compare a line with a circle." "Exactly," said the old man. "You see, every life is a different shape. You are busy comparing lines, when in truth you are a circle. Others may be triangles, squares, or stars. Each has its own place, its own beauty. If you compare a fish with a bird, the fish will always lose in flying, but no bird can swim like the fish. Your mistake is not being behind, but measuring yourself with the wrong tool." The words struck Daniel's heart. It was the first time someone had shown him that he wasn't broken, he was just different. The old man continued, "Let me tell you something powerful. Growth is invisible at first. A seed buried in the soil does not shout, 'Look at me. I'm growing.' It silently pushes roots into the earth, unseen, until one day it breaks the ground and surprises everyone. You are like that seed. Your time has not yet come, but it will. Stop digging yourself up to check your progress. Instead, water your habits, shine your light of discipline, and trust that growth is happening." That night, Daniel thought deeply about what the old man had said. For the first time, instead of comparing himself, he asked, "What small habits can I build to grow in my own way?" The next morning, he began with something simple, waking up early and journaling his thoughts. He wrote down 3 things he was grateful for and one small action he could take that day to improve. At first, it felt silly. But after a week, he noticed he was more focused. After a month, he realized his mind was calmer. Slowly, Daniel added more small habits, reading for 20 minutes a day, exercising for 10 minutes, and practicing English by listening to stories online. None of these changes made him successful overnight, but they gave him something far more important, consistency. Over time, these little habits became his foundation. He no longer spent hours comparing himself on social media. Instead, he compared himself only to who he was yesterday. Was he a little better today? Did he learn something new? Did he take a step forward? One day, months later, Daniel ran into an old classmate at a cafe. This friend was working at a big company and earning well. The old Daniel would have felt inferior, embarrassed even. But this time, Daniel simply listened, congratulated him, and shared his own journey. He didn't feel less than. For the first time, he felt peace. He realized that life is not a single race with one finish line. Everyone is running a different marathon, on a different track, sometimes even in different directions. Some start fast, some start late, some stumble, and some fly. But the truth is, no one is really ahead or behind, because we are not running the same race at all. Comparison steals joy, but acceptance builds strength. When Daniel accepted who he was, he began to grow into the person he was meant to be. He didn't become a millionaire overnight, but he became rich in something even greater, clarity and self-worth. And here lies the lesson for all of us. If you feel left behind, remember. You are not late. You are not behind. You are simply on your own path. Think of a forest. In that forest, an oak tree might grow tall and wide in 20 years, while a bamboo stalk spends years hidden underground, building roots, only to shoot up incredibly fast later on. Both are beautiful, both are strong, and both serve their purpose. Life is the same. Your season of growth will come at the right time. The secret is not to compare, but to prepare. Focus on small habits, because small habits create big transformations. 5 minutes of reading today, a short walk tomorrow, practicing gratitude each night. These may seem tiny, but over months and years, they shape a life of purpose. The young man's story is not just Daniel's, it is the story of countless people, maybe even yours. We all feel left behind at times. We all look at others and wonder if we are enough. But the truth is, you are already enough. You don't need to match anyone's timeline. You only need to walk your own. So the next time you find yourself comparing, pause and remember, every flower blooms in its own season. The sun does not rush the morning, and yet the day always begins. Trust your timing, trust your path, and above all, never stop walking. Because step by step, habit by habit, you are creating a life that is yours, and that is something no comparison can ever take away. Life is a journey, not a competition. Yet, many people spend their entire lives comparing themselves to others, worrying about how far they are behind, and feeling disappointed with who they are. This constant comparison steals joy and kills motivation. The truth is, every person is on a different path. Just like no two trees in a forest grow at the exact same speed, no two lives move in the same direction or at the same pace. This is the story of a young boy named Arjun who always compared himself with others. He grew up in a small town where success meant good grades, good jobs, and a good reputation. His elder brother was a bright student, always at the top of his class. His younger sister was a talented singer who performed at every school event. Arjun, on the other hand, was average in studies and had no special talent that others could see. Every day at home, he heard his relatives praising his brother and sister. "Your son is brilliant," they would tell his parents. "Your daughter has a beautiful voice." But when it came to Arjun, they only said, "He is okay." Those words pierced his heart like arrows. He wanted to shine, but he didn't know how. At school, the pressure was no less. His classmates were winning prizes, scoring high marks, and planning their bright futures. Arjun often looked at them and thought, "Why can't I be like them? Why am I always behind?" One evening, frustrated and upset, Arjun went to the park near his house. He sat on a bench, staring at the ground, feeling like a failure. An old gardener who worked there noticed him and asked, "Why do you look so sad, young man?" Arjun replied, "Everyone is better than me. My brother is smart, my sister is talented, my friends are successful. I am nothing compared to them." The gardener smiled and pointed at the trees in the park. "Do you see these trees? Look carefully." Arjun looked around. There were mango trees, neem trees, a few tall coconut trees, and some small flowering plants. The gardener continued, "All these trees grow differently. The mango tree gives sweet fruits, the neem tree gives medicine, the coconut tree gives water, and the small flowers give fragrance. Now tell me, is the coconut tree better than the mango tree? Or are the flowers useless because they are small?" Arjun shook his head. "No, each tree is useful in its own way." "Exactly," said the gardener. "So why do you compare yourself with others? Just like trees, people have different purposes. A tree never asks, 'Why am I not like that other tree?' It simply grows into what it is meant to be. You must also grow into who you are, not who others are." These words opened Arjun's eyes. For the first time, he realized that comparison was his biggest enemy. He didn't need to be his brother, his sister, or his classmates. He only needed to discover his own strength. That night, he made a decision. Instead of comparing himself, he would focus on small habits to improve a little every day. He woke up early, started reading books for 20 minutes daily, and practiced writing short stories in English. At first, his stories were simple, with basic sentences and common words. But slowly, he began to improve. His vocabulary expanded, his sentences became longer and smoother, and his confidence grew. Months passed, and one day, his teacher asked him to share a story in class. Nervous but determined, Arjun stood up and read aloud one of his stories. To his surprise, the whole class listened quietly and clapped when he finished. His teacher smiled and said, "Arjun, you have a gift for storytelling. Keep practicing, and one day you will inspire many people." That moment changed everything. Arjun realized that his strength was not in being the smartest student or the best singer. His strength was in telling stories that touched people's hearts. From then on, he worked hard every day, practicing his English, improving his storytelling skills, and building the habit of speaking with confidence. Slowly, Arjun's life transformed. He stopped worrying about being behind others and focused only on being better than he was yesterday. Years later, he became a motivational speaker and storyteller, helping thousands of students learn English through inspiring stories. The boy who once felt left behind discovered his true path, not by comparing, but by accepting who he was and building himself step by step. And this is the message for you. If you feel left behind, stop looking at the timelines of others. Stop scrolling through social media wondering why your life is not like theirs. Remember, people only show their highlight reels, not their struggles. Every success you see has years of hidden effort behind it. Instead of comparing, focus on small habits. Wake up early, read a little every day. Write down your thoughts in English. Practice speaking even if you are alone. Learn one new phrase or sentence daily. These small habits may not seem powerful at first, but over time, they change everything. Comparison makes you bitter, but habits make you better. The power of consistency is greater than the power of talent. Even if you start small, if you keep going, you will create a life you are proud of. So the next time you feel left behind, remember the trees in the park. Each one has its own role, its own beauty, and its own timing. You are not late. You are not behind. You are simply on your own path. Life is not about being the fastest. It is about moving forward, step by step, with courage and consistency. Do not say, "I am nothing." Say, "I am becoming." Do not say, "I am behind." Say, "I am growing." One day, people will look at your journey and say, "You inspire me." But that will only happen if you stop comparing and start becoming the best version of yourself. Your life is your story. Write it with patience, courage, and faith. Every sentence you practice, every word you learn, every small step you take, it all matters. Remember, flowers bloom in their own season, and so will you. So keep going, keep learning, keep growing. Your time is coming, and when it does, you will realize that you were never behind, you were always right on time.